It was the Pope and Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
Basically.
There's another Australian one, which is, again, hard, but brilliant. There's a little Paul McGrath, he's looking at the sea. You listen to Ireland in the 1960s. In 1960, I was born, my missus was about 2 years.
Yeah.
And I consider myself to be a young boy.
Yeah.
Ireland in the 1960s, from outside looking in, you think, this is...
It's many.
You talk about the 19th century. This is like the workhouse.
Yeah.
So Paul McGrath's mum goes to England to work. Yeah. She works for a doctor who took advantage of her.
Yeah.
And then wants nothing to do with her after she gets pregnant. So she gets the boat back, basically gets kicked out of her job. So she's got to get the boat back to Ireland. Yeah. As soon as they dock, he says the nuns took me away from my mother because she was unmarried. They put me in an orphanage. I was 18. Yeah. You see, I got this shit to tell you every day. So when someone does a mission with that, a mission for the person, you got to take the shit. Yeah. So, and if you listen to his life story, you'd be amazed that he's done as well as he has. And that bit when you can't get off the bus because you've got to do things. Yes. Charles said, you don't get off the bus before you never play ball again. He said, can't do it. So they played the game, so unfortunately, he came back later on. And McGrath was basically sat down to his bed, shut. Yeah. They said, check, you know, blanket and then he said, every time I play for Ireland after, I play for Jack Chapman.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. So after that, Bond into 27 it's a real deal.
The thing with McGrath, I wanted to do McGrath on this podcast for a long time. But I never really known how to handle it. Because what a player.
And by the sound of it, we never saw him like more than 80% of what he could do.
Yeah.
Because he was, well, injuries and...
Yeah, his knees. Yeah. So Jack Johnson used to say to me, you have to train. Because I don't need you to train.
Yeah.
You're not going to do training to the week. I need you to play on Saturdays. I need you to play on Saturdays. That's fine. So,
Okay.
And with him, with McGrath, it was like I shied away from him. Because he's an alcoholic, it would be easy to go down the sort of more entertaining side of the stories.
Yeah.
But then you cheapen it, so he was part of that United team when Ferguson took over, and there was a big drinking culture at that club.
Yeah.
And they all liked to drink. But he took out some of the big leaguers and so even though they were top players, he sort of got to Villa and he sort of a few others as well. So it just makes me think, what if he's one of the best defenders in Europe and in what would it have been like if he hadn't been an alcoholic? And obviously the injuries as well.
Well, he said, like, I never drank. I was never social drinker. I drank for oblivion. I thought, the way I said the way it was shot, those views of the other
Yeah.
I thought it was so
It just shows that fragile character.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It just really came across.
And it also, with a light touch, deals with his relationship with Bobby, which has been. They don't actually say what the reason is, but if you Google it, Bobby's wife didn't get on with him.
Right.
And so it's such a difficult relationship. Bobby and Chapman entered the seat for the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's a bit what Jack says in the Golden interview. I used to hear the album on my live every Sunday for tea and then just stop.
Yeah. So we didn't see it at all in the 90s before she died. Easy goes to film. And the thing with that particular relationship is that the English press were absolutely fascinated by it because you've got two brothers in England in a World Cup winning team which is rare anyway.
Yes.
And obviously Charlton, probably England's greatest ever footballer, and then Jack playing at Leeds United when they were one of England's top teams, both playing the only team to have won a tournament. They don't seem to get on.
Yeah.
And as a manager, they touch on this as well. The football Ireland played was incredibly strong. Yeah. And Eamon Dunphy was the only dissenting voice.
Yeah.
He was seen as a bit of a laughing stock in Ireland, I think. Because I I think you can have those standards if you are from a country like England or Holland or Germany.
Yeah.
How many people live in Ireland?
Oh, tell you, what a no.
You know,
What a no.
Wales is the same. That's what it's
It's like a handout. Why is that? They didn't lose Wimbledon for 10 years he was in charge.
Yeah.
But they qualified for World Cups and European Championships.
Got 3 tournaments with them and one of my friends.
They get out of Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, take that. So said with Wales with their low ball.
Yeah.
And also,
It's not going to be easy on the eye, Mike.
But also the high pressing style as well. Which is what most teams, the long ball thing is a big part of it. But when they're out of possession, pressing so high on the pitch is something which every modern manager uses now.
When I see the Irish fans just getting through their hands, I can just completely put
So I
myself.
was in the States. I was down in the States. A lot of years. And the American team, especially some of the clubs in football, was novice. But the Irish fans was a huge story. And of course, you go to Boston, there's a lot of Irish in Boston, there's a lot of Irish in New York. So like we said, when they played that game in the Netherlands, in New Jersey, it was like all Irish.
Yeah. So New York is huge Irish population, Italian,
Irish Italian, isn't it? Yeah. So
and obviously you've got Boston as well, which isn't too far. So the Giant Stadium holds 80,000. I think it's just over 80,000, and they reckon at least 50,000.
You doing this? Huh? The products are back in the
Amazing.
I'll go a little bit. There's a little bit there. Is this him? It's when he walks through the change cupping and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny Spanish in Middlesbrough.
Because he's naked.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And then he knows the camera's there.
Yeah.
So he walks back out back.
Yeah.
I can't imagine bottle shots on the video. They're so simple.
I thought it was
Oh yeah.
that has been good.
Yes.
Okay, it's a vividly memory because Wales has become so close to our country, so I support them. And to watch those fans remember, those are the memories that keep people. Everybody seems back. And people there actually just sit.
That's when Andy Townsend talks about it. Which is interesting because he's involved with making the film. And he absolutely adores Jack. But he's not been easy on the editing himself. Which is really interesting. Because a lot of the stuff he says is quite hard. So he's the one who says that Jack is very stubborn.
Yeah.
Say, oh, maybe we should do this. Like that.
Yeah.
By the way. There's that bit where he goes, wanting to be a dictator, but be a nice one. Wow, that's a great one.
Oh, well, that motif, there must be an installation of the galleries.
So he's kept all these notes down for years, where he's just written down different things, whether it's about his brother, about his relationship with his brother, about tactics, about how he wants to be as a manager. They've got all of these things, and it's this brightly lit, and they're all got kind of lit this here, and the doors slide open the first time you see it, and they just usually got this text around the world. I wonder where that is. I'd love to see that.
It's also real.
100%.
So, like Gabriel Clark, I've said this. Until the last 3 years, when I started seeing TV football like countries, brilliant.
Yeah.
Gabriel Clark, I thought of the man coming live from the England camp in 2010.
Yes.
That's what I thought of Gabriel Clark. So in 2010, so Gabriel Clark, I thought, great voice broadcaster, he sounds like a sports broadcaster. Clearly knows his stuff.
Yeah.
He's been involved for the last 2 years.
I don't know who does some of them. So people say they don't. I was talking about this. People say they don't use like set I don't tend to write it on. The only thing they don't like support. You can't watch that film. You might not know anything about it. You don't need that. It's a real piece of work. It's really and such a very story.
I love that. Some John Richardson.
Yeah.
And so I've seen that footage hundreds of times. So there's that very famous shot where he's the best to shoot it. And he looks at the camera. It's quite a ride.
Yeah.
Because he knows he's making history. It's very different. And it's kind of nerves and an understanding what he's thinking.
Yeah.
It's a really famous shot, and again, certainly in the Irish. So they showed that, we went, okay, I thought I've seen that. And you've got all this footage, hands and stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
He's a part, because he's involved in the Three Kings. And the Three Kings does the same, where it takes things I have seen 100 times not get no trust.
Yeah.
But it just finds a completely brand new camera. I think, where's she coming from? But as a football fan who's quite invested in that story, who I quite closely followed the line of the team, I thought I'd seen it all. And obviously I haven't. But it just, you know, if you weren't sports like this, like you don't understand sport really know stuff and stuff. And obviously like you really loves the game, loves that particular group. To find new stuff in, you just think a lot of effort to get sort of done. Like there wasn't so much interest. It's a lot of people chopping on me talking about.
So keep looking at work.
Yeah.
You like to make it.
Carry on, Johnny.
You
Hello,
enjoy
Gabriel.
making the voice. Right, let's do second round of clips then. Well, I'm going to go first. This is Dickie David trying to say that still coming up on his show is some cup soccer.
Soccer has been named by the English cross-country selectors for their team at the World Championship in Portugal next month, despite the tremendous disappointment of having been forced to run out in the English Championships today. So that brings us to the end of our program. Now let's have a look at the cocksucker
So the best spooners was water.
I love the entire.
Oh, don't take a bag. Then you won't taste good. They
You
won't
think
eat
you're going to first one. Yeah, interaction. Like really enjoyed. And then
You're not.
It's loud. And your brain goes. You get halfway through reading a sports bulletin one night. Part of your brain will go in your ears and just shout fuck.
Hey,
You look great.
you really got with that. Because
Oh yes.
There was some issue with the desk between when David produced it and
Yeah.
and my sister was listening to the car, told over a text that everyone could hear the conversation.
Please stop.
And then so suddenly our phone would ring out, and people were texting John, and people were texting Dean, and we were laughing, talking about something so bold. It was so dumb. It was like the split. It was like the split you get at certain theatres. So it's 50-50 or something. Yeah. Anyway, That's a discussion for different topic.
We're not playing then.
Play on the mic.
Yeah.
But that could have been off. When we started doing Five Live from home in this lockdown 3.0, we had realised the first episode was first shot, there was quite a delay between say a jingle or whatever and then you just done house offers.
Right.
So there's a podcast with 3 weeks ago where, you know, how's this sounding? Oh, I'm using different Wi-Fi, and it just sounds really unprofessional. But again, lucky that no one's scared.
Yeah.
I mean, I empathise with both of you because I know I don't know whether you talk about me on the back. Yeah. I'm quite happy to talk about either of you guys. That's not attacks. I think the youth thing, when we do a live show, I'm going to drop that to.
No, I should see that'll be so yeah.
I'm trying to get out.
Yeah, I should so we can link this one. In my mind,
Yeah.
we're going to do a live stream or something like that. So I've not made plans. That's it for me. It's going to all be over.
The last podcast should be good.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
You want to match when you get home. You've got to decide.
It's quite hard to get a hold of this.
It's the Crow Prosecution Service.
Bill Gates. Yeah. All vaccinated. It's stop.
Crow Prosecution Service.
Never got this with anyone. I've seen documentaries. Crime dramas on Netflix. They've got enough on us.
First
They couldn't get me set down like banks. That's a second step.
Are you fine, yeah? That's alright.
It wasn't very second, right? Just don't read your stuff.
But also, World of Sport,
Yes.
huge program. I don't really remember it ended it. I checked it in 1985, so I don't remember World of Sport. I was a grandstand man.
If I stayed in my
Varför blir det där? Piss.
Yes.
my dad's one was in band.
Yeah.
Like in my house, it would have been swap shop,
Yeah.
grandstand, antiques road,
Yes.
toxic right. Whereas my nana's house would be 3 to 1 10 road.
Yeah.
My granddad liked horse racing, that was the best thing.
Yeah.
So I tried to make that.
Big fan of getting access.
Because I loved like World Sport for the rest of it. To the point where this would have been, let's say, 4 years. But I used to watch boxing.
Yeah.
I was so bored about boxing. Because I was always comparing it to wrestling. And it just seemed to be like they just had a pair of swords and punches. Yeah, they did. Where like gold top Dr. Martin.
I've got a next little chair,
No one was dressed as a caveman.
But Dickie was great. Dickie was
Like, he was so knowing.
as long as he doesn't watch it at all. Yeah. Just look at you an image.
Yeah. You'll see Mike in 20 years' time. They're back.
Why?
Was it
No, that's no, that's
Ah, come on.
Well, that is the first or second bit.
It is, that's the early one, isn't it?
It changed that, didn't it?
See if I can find the next one.
You sound like a perfecter.
But I knew that was the first one.
Also, I don't know how
What are the sport mix?
That's the early one. Also, like that.
wrestling. That's that one again. Oh, what a night of TV that would have been. That's a hell of a film to chuck in the next life to your dad.
That's my favourite metal film. That's talking about. Oslo. I think the Olympics, the back to Oslo. It's particularly Davis. I think what's unusual is how many times the week comes to the kind of by mistake. Several times. Johnny Bedell said it.
Johnny Bedell's my favourite one. He's trying to say rose tinted spectrum.
Rose tinted.
He says rose coloured. That's in the phrase. It's not a thing. The word coated was very rarely used in my rose coated spectrum.
We used to use that for drunk all.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He's at Cheltenham. He's one of the best of all those. He's obviously just been having that conversation.
A few.
It's a fun film.
Yes.
Yeah,
They did it twice in a row.
Yeah.
They did it, and they did it twice. I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, it was tense. Oh. You look at Black and White almost 50 days to the set. That is a look like really good look.
Yeah.
You see my company, you probably like a leader or something. I mean, look, really. The house was the mid-70s. The electric.
Yeah.
You're spoiling it. You have Dick Davis, Des Lyman, who used to use the 70s, and two of those. What's the rest of the I said to someone on Twitter that I think it was Barry Glendale actually. It was mentioning the sphincter check from and I paraphrased where I said that my sphincter was somewhere part of and then someone said, you realise that
Yeah.
if you know the other meaning of Tupperware, of a Tupperware party, this is a brilliant part. So I don't. So I should Google
York.
a Tupperware party relates to the fact that Tupperware was famously airtight.
Okay.
So if you're a woman, it's 2 months.
Okay, yeah.
And if you're a man, it's 2 months. All your holes are place. You're airtight. So a Tupperware party is like years. Yeah, not all. All you get.
Okay.
How much you got to be?
You took a massive in this. That was small thing.
It sounds like a really weird episode of Noddy. It's new friend. It's totally different.
Go on, lads.
You know, he'd have liked it if you're right, he's faster than the shit. Not really. It's a bit
Like your clip was around. I think his Elvis talked the other day about Harry Jones essentially first best in the XLA so someone sent me this clip. I forgot it was 2 weeks. I tried Googling to find out the longest clip I fancy it. I don't know where they got it. Yeah. But this looks like you've got.
Hello, this is Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help?
Yeah. But you see him hanging out with George Best.
Your beautiful new aircraft is waiting at our nearest airfield. We hope you're very happy, sir.
They look, they're quite obviously free. Yeah. And see the most peculiar. And you see Barry Johnson. Really described as merch. It's a distant part of the strategy. 100%. It just looks like a distant part of the strategy. That's exactly right.
If the slight shape of this thing is the same quantity, but it's a very important topic.
Yes.
But they could use it. What you can't quite be is Barry Johnson, which is wonderful commitment. And that kind of commitment has died out in the year. But the thing that really struck me as I knew they were friends, so think about how their minds line but it's six to and that's what I what's it like to show that it's enormous burden of responsibility for stuff these four people. My ideas was to be tremendously famous for the sort of this. And again, parallels are enormous. The one enormous thing is the power to be I'm restraining your friends. It's the intent.
Walking up to brand new Rolls Royce. Was in that house that was made out of glass.
Yeah, that house is amazing.
One of my favourite things, the most 70s house ever made. I'm incredibly famous. Where should I live? I can actually live in a goldfish bottle.
Yeah. I would love to be if Gary was ever for the money.
I was going to say that he wouldn't be jealous because he think about the pressure that George Best had of being on his own. But he did it.
Yeah, that's what it's not fair.
In all the downside.
Yeah.
With none of the upside.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's why you did the TV and the journalism stuff afterwards to get them.
I am amazed. I am staggered. The rugby union was amateur for so long. For so long after thousands and thousands of people paid to go watch it.
Well,
We did it.
the maximum wage, which is
Yeah.
came to an end in 1961.
Yeah. It's still 30 years ago.
By the time Bart was filming this for George, in those 1963, footballers have been able to earn what the market dictates they are worth for 11 or 12 years.
These days, a lot of the stuff professionally that you pay for the actual trip.
Yes.
But I don't think it's paid for short for the professional. So go back to 1960, when you were still putting 60,000 people in the world. Yeah. It's really good competitions across total games. But you look at that stadium, even in those advertising all around the stadium, so they're not ready for that. TV and radio.
I reckon got made loads of equipment. I'd go listen, like I'll be listening. You have to bring your own songs, your own stories, for the pay the phone.
Yeah.
You know, you went like, just to find a sales customers, or all that stuff. It wasn't like the Welsh that you were spending a ton of money
Obviously down to the gloves.
on grasslands. What was fuck all the grasslands?
First of all, to train them to take trips with them. 50, 60, so average price of a ticket, that's half the minute.
Yeah. How much do you pay the lads out then?
And then you'd Wonderfield Gas, Agfa, whatever that is. So Wonderfield Gas and Agfa, JVC, all of them advertising. Yes. Jonathan Davis.
Yeah.
This is the you look at this. He plays the game.
Yeah.
He's plays the game.
Yeah.
I could probably 30 players a play. I'd love to know what it was half time. They announced at half time the world record attendance for domestic club.
Yeah.
56,500. Yeah, the second is the year after, then 89, the record's broken again.
Imagine not going rugby league.
Yeah, you were just sitting there in the stadium and that day. They didn't announce what words on the day was thinking. You know, if you got written to say, you've got to but you know, it was free to get in. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
We're all in this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually about a half time to go. There's a lot of people here.
I've got a cup of tea and large.
There's lots of people.
This seems big.
They didn't come in half time.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
It's even worse. You're on the pitch stuck in an orange, but that's fucking good.
Yeah.
What a bomb really.
Yeah. Chris Bridges and Kevin Phillips are saying, this is fucking massive.
Just come to the crowd with 5 times.
You should ask us some questions. And then you get to these terraces and you think, well, that's just a lot, isn't it?
That's a lot of just
Like big bees.
You see everybody as a five.
What's this £500 million in the stadium right now?
Go and get Paul Fulton. Paul, what car do you drive?
Car?
I cycled in.
I got a 353.
You've got a C reg, so then it's...
Yeah, I was only talking about this on camera, I'm going to go back to the steel. I want a 10 to a 6.
What are you doing there, Kevin Phillips? I'm a sheep farmer. This was the very first generation of what public was going to see. Barry John must have just sat there and thought, you lucky bastard, yes.
What else? What's your opinion as well?
I was thinking this afternoon. I was trying to imagine a proper mental production. Class. It's hard. Yeah, it's that. I really miss good football. But the thing I really miss is being in an away, particularly last week. The thing I miss even more than that is starting with football.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to say. I stood at Brentford.
Yeah.
It's Brentford, they let me season.
Yeah.
I would have had one more chance to stand for the tennis because I really miss Terrace Madness. Lots of people of my generation know see you'll find clips, great ones, and stuff. And this is the Sistine Chapel of things, I think. It's an insulated fact. We're an absolutely flying perspective school. But Oxford elected the Manor Ground in 1988.
Chris Beckford ended a 3-month battle spell in front of goal with a time-making Everton's edition in the revival of the college donation.
It's so funny, the thing itself is only about a minute long, so you can watch all of it. It's about a minute in. Wow.
I think it's a lot of so much fun. my pencil was all finished. And I watched the second one, I was where it was like this flash of white. Oh shit, I thought it was on the pitch. I thought it was looking like it went flying on the pitch, like it just sort of go careening through the air. No, it's not interesting. The match just floats through the air. You see the poor Pillion standing up on the post?
Yeah.
He jumped off.
It's superb. There's about 7 runs in that.
Yeah. But thankfully, they've taken so many. It's so full that away end.
Yeah.
You would have landed on the stage.
It just disappears.
He does disappear.
And he's wearing a white jumper, and then you see his legs, and then you just see jumper.
You know his forefoot, you know.
Yeah.
Full impact.
Just musically, like, it was the manners, it's not to read the 786, but the 30s, so it's a huge fan of all 3 bands. And I didn't really know what to expect, because I'd only ever seen local bands in West North.
What are 3 bands again?
Very managed pictures, supported by some free and I think it's true.
That's a Russian pitch. James does.
Yes.
Very animals, also consider
Yeah, the basis.
I can't tell you. I wouldn't have listened to it.
Right, okay. My teenage years were devoted to those things. So I've only ever seen local bands in any response. I couldn't believe what I'm going to it. So people trying to get on the stage diving and that sort of stuff. And then sitting out playing with the front, and then sitting up being kicked in the face and just some respect for the day. Yeah, there's becomes a piss everywhere. And that's what it was like in the late 80s. You know, prior to Johnny News. And I just miss that feeling of being part of a whole, that sort of thing. Which you don't get in the seats. And in Adrian Temple's book, which I recommended a few weeks ago, he says, yeah, there is such a thing as television, there's such a thing as television. Yeah. And this guy, I mean, bloody hell, it's 32 years old, this kid. And it's still as popular now as it was then. I just find it so funny. It's been immortalised. I don't know what happened to him, I've never met him, it really is. But I still, you know, late at night all the time, I said, yeah, he must have got his I wonder if he's famous. I love that goal by Chris Beckler against Oxford United in the second division. Could do that to 3,000 people. Yeah, that man is so ecstatic. And Chris Beckler's living leaves it's Oxford United. In second division, then he becomes airborne.
He fancies his chances against gravity.
From you.
But if you've been seriously injured, his mum and dad will pick him up from Oxford rather than from me. You know, what were you doing? Don't you understand? Chris Beckler scored against Oxford United. I took leave in his senses. Why? Oh, football, Dad. Oh, I love it.
Just close it. Can you see what I'm doing?
Start.
I think so that we need to get up on top. She looks quite a long scar. I think I've lost a little weight. It's also hitting the fucking face. Lost a lot of fat.
He's just playing it less scar.
Yeah, fairly well.
So you can see it in the front. So it's about a 3-inch long scar. So you remember it's at that time when we were at Nicky's, and being Nick from the Adventures, which is pissing around. And we on the past drinking Nicky's hair was gone, so I takes my car, dig out, put it in there, and we put all the bottles, we dropped it in like a bin, and put them outside the bar, and back there. Just Jason will be allergic to anything banks.
Yeah.
But I don't have to drink. You can throw me up.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're all laughing. So we fix me up and destroy me. and launched me into the back half. Just threw me out the door. And I landed on his back and broke my back. But I'm so I got up, I'm laughing, I got back in the room and kill him. And then it was like, that's it. And I was executed. Then it just gone red. Because I'd fallen onto it. Like a 3-foot scar. It wasn't that deep. That was just 3 hours from there. Yeah.
Particular Wales, I think it's a small town thing. I think it's left as I know from small towns and villages. They're not from cities.
No, you're right.
The real letters I know are from like rural West Wales, where there's A, there's nothing to do, B, like no cameras and CCTV and stuff, and they're bored.
Nothing to do, no one to capture.
It's the biggest difference between Jackass, where the stunts were planned, and Dirty Sanchez, where it was full self-aliens just setting fire to their testicles and doing stupid things.
Yeah.
And they so reminded me of people I knew growing up, the Dirty Sanchez bros. I thought, oh yeah, you could shoot.
Come back, look at the football. He would have done that deliberately. When did he accidentally jump into the Irish
No.
after that?
You could have pretty much gone into any town in South Wales and got filled with boys. You went into hamming your testicles into your fly. But what did you want to? Yes.
Use your TV contrast.
Yes.
It was always so neat. The party piece was to put a cigarette in the back of his hand or something.
Yeah.
I suppose you would have been London. You always with a silver or something.
There's little diabetes. One. Sebastian.
He's easy enough. Okay, thank you.
He's one of those people, he can
Gullible and bored.
He can open his gullet and just like down a pint in one. Oh yeah, okay, he's supposed to drink a lager. No, he's drinking piss. Why? That's Sebastian too. Is he mad? He's quite bored actually.
I wonder if kids still do that. Because pub culture's died out. You don't have the rugby club, six, or everyone else in terms of beer. It seems to be honest. I wonder if I'm drinking pints of piss going to go.
Yeah, has it gone away with Betamax?
Who remembers nights of this?
That shit's going to get its program. But instead of Betamax, the fax machine will be drinking pints of piss in the
Other people's piss.
You ever drunk a pint of piss?
Halcyon days of drinking 50 little bottles of piss.
You ever drink a pint of piss with a bottle there with a pick of egg in it? Yeah. I don't know when that happened. His dad played rugby in the 60s and 70s. And I asked him about this, and he said,
Oh, yeah, so it might have been a poke thing. Maybe there's some that
yeah. But I'll done not. Oh, it's really singing songs like close up to the game.
Yeah, but they were projects in each other's bums.
Yeah, it was some of that, yeah. Did you projects anyone's bum down?
No.
Talking about rabbits those days.
Yeah. Hundreds and thousands of you guys listen to this podcast. When did the drinking piss scene begin? And end.
What are the start and end dates of my dissertation?
If you're one of our 60 or 70-year-old listeners, we're going to thank you.
Yeah.
Look, were you aware that this drinking started?
Yeah.
And if you're a younger listener, have you never heard of such a thing? In which case we can give a date when it ended. So I reckon between 1975 and 1985. I'm going to say there's no.
90s.
75 to 95.
98, 99, definitely.
What's the most
detailed conversation you've ever had?
The demise of self-destructive Welsh rugby club culture in 1975 to 2002.
Maybe professionalism fucked it up for everyone.
Right, let's do books to round things off for this week. Mike, you're on point.
Keep it nice and simple this week for me. So we're recording this on Saturday. Tomorrow, my favourite American football team, the Green Bay Packers, are playing the NFC Championship game against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. By Tuesday, we'll know the result and whether my boys are back in the Superbowl. I hope they are. This is a book that Kelly bought me for our first wedding anniversary. To my wonderful husband, Mike. Happy first anniversary. Love you always, Kelly.
Here's your options as well.
Yeah, I didn't ask for it. It's just called Green Bay Packers. That's what it says on the tin. Green Bay Packers, the complete illustration history. Obviously, it's the first anniversary of the football, which went on the jobs. Yeah, so it's just, if you don't know anything, the Packers are mentioned many times in this podcast. They are one of the three oldest franchises in the NFL. They're the only team in the big four sports in North America, which is why they control to be a small town team in a big city league. And they won't move because they're all Green Bay. So they are playing tomorrow. This book goes up to 2007, so it's just before the it's really interesting. You can play it, national team, but more than just some it's what I call a fantastic toilet book. Use my toilet book of choice for a while. Just leave the other rules. You should never force them to the toilet. So if you need a book in there, it's good for you. Well, it is.
Really Bart Lawson reviewing books like this.
You should never force anything on the toilet. Oh, very important.
Is it?
Oh, look, all that shit, doing it. Files,
There's that theory that you sit with your feet on the seat and it changes the angle. Have you heard of this? You can buy those little steps so you put your feet up to angle your...
my feet on the seat.
Yeah. So you... Oh, where's my bum? Yeah, well, your bum is on the seat as well, but you're kind of all bunched up and then that's good for your left.
Okay, so that's what it's gonna be. Sexy car boss. Now here's who we're gonna steal it from. Me and Yusuf, we got this uncle. Well, actually, he's like a brother-in-law, my mom's second cousin, twice removed. But that doesn't matter. The point is, this dude is rich as fuck. Like, rich. But he's a piece of shit. You know, real nasty, real tacky. Even got himself cancelled. Do you know how bad you have to fuck up to get cancelled where he's from? Jeez. Anyway, he gets stuff shipped across to the U.S. from back home all the time. Art, gold, guns, and, you guessed it, cars. And this particular car is special, man. You know Solomon Richards? Like Lee Solomon Richards, the movie producer? This was the car he was driving when he got caught curb crawling Vinewood Boulevard, man. This thing got a pedigree. It's unique. Yusuf's gonna love it. We hit that cargo ship, it's ours. We just need to scope out the harbor at Elysian Island, get the deets, and cook us up a plan, huh?
Despite his rebellion, the two got along quite well, so clearly got fed up with his office working behaviour, was the very related that's how he's took up with Pittsburgh players. After a year, Kim was allowed to return to the relationship was not his second tour still. But now he found his own unique path to Irish life. After serving as a player coach for Pittsburgh for 3 seasons, he joined the Army and fought during World War II, then returned to St. John's University where he was college. He then wrote economics textbook and married his expert to the Sarah family of so there we go, just lived a hell of a life. He's 20 to 30, no pressure from the good pressure from walking. He's got married in his 40s, then had 8 kids. Yeah, just a really well-read book of really top life. When you go back, there's loads of
Let's pick up some intel. I need 3 picks. 1, a pick of one of the cargo ships that docked there. I want to know the layout of this thing. 2, a shipping container so we can size up the kind of thing they might have on board. Try and get a pick of the rocks in it so I can know what we're up against. 3, the shipping manifest. Boring, I know, but if you can find it in the office building, we'll know when the ship's due to dock.
On the episode description for this episode, before listening to yeah, not the 3 weeks, 2. The first link on there is for the My Name's Dolly Foundation. Give it a click, donate a quid. Okay, Dolly Williams is from Scotland, raising money for research into motor neuron disease, and we're backing it this month. So you guys have already added £4,000, including the gift aid stuff, so it's brilliant. But if everyone could dip in and get a quid, no more than that, you don't have to do more than that. But if everybody gives a quid, then we'll do some serious improvements around the world, and that's what I want to do as part of this. You know, we'd like to give something back in order. So if you could do that, that'd be brilliant. For those of you who keep tweeting and Facebooking, that's the thing, about the woolly hats, they are back in stock, but they're selling really quickly. So go to distantpod.com, click on the shop bit there, and get yourself a woolly hat. I keep seeing them around the place. The other thing, which we haven't done for a long time, if you go onto Apple, because that's where you get your podcasts from, give us a 5-star review. Can you go either Ski Sunday or Grandstand and tell us which theme you prefer? Right, that's the Apple done.
Cheers, boys.
Oh.
Follow the Socially Distant Sports Bar on the Wondery app, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You can listen early and free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or podcasts. Before you go, tell us what we serve and do your first survey at wondery.com/survey. This is mythical. Welcome to Ear Biscuits. Got a little leaf? You didn't like that. I used to say, I'm Link. Oh. It's funny. I'm not a creature of habit. It's funny how many times. I mean, it's a pretty simple thing. Just go with it. A guy who starts just says, welcome to Ear Biscuits. I'm whatever my name is. I'm not a creature of habit. I don't like to do it's really unusual that you're the one that this is happening to. Yeah. You're Link. What you ended up saying leak, because a lot of people think your name is Leak. I sprung a little leak, or whatever you said. A lot of people think your name is Leak. No, I said sprung a little leak. Oh, you did? Yeah. Because when you go to Starbucks, a lot of times they think it's Leak. It's source of it. Yeah. Well, just the other day, when we went to Starbucks with our wives. Remember this? Oh yeah. And my wife, whose name is Jessie, said, she said, what's your name? She said, Jessie. And she was like, that's a cute name. And I was like, hold on, what? She said Jessie. No, you didn't say it to the barista. No, you turned around and you said it to me and Christy. You realized that this girl thinks Jessie.
Okay, pretty serious. Gonna need some bolt cutters. I'll make a note.
America. And then we got the cup and it was, what is she getting? She had written like, I was trying to go in the bathroom. It was like, it doesn't happen on Hollywood Boulevard, so I just waited outside of the bathroom. It was like, Yessie or Jaxie or something like that. She was Jaxie. Jaxie? So I said Jaxie. It took me too long. Anyway, my name is Brett. By this week, I have been thankful of blind samples.
down close. Man, we are really we're really hurting tonight, y'all.
This week at the round table of dim lighting, you should go. You boys got to talk to each other about horror movies. We feel a little bit differently about them. We have some different experiences, and interestingly, one of our first ever horror movie experiences was together.
It's actually not very interesting. I think they would expect that. But I think our perspective on it, I don't know your perspective, so I'm interested to hear that.
I don't know my perspective.
On that, specifically.
Oh, on the past?
Yeah, on many other things, you regaled me with your perspective to no end. But on that first night of horrorness, I've avoided ever talking about it.
Okay, I got the plan for this thing. I'm over here drawing diagrams and shit, because this ship, the second it docks, we've got trouble, man.
So
security checks, personnel up in the containers, the cargo moving. Now, we can't let that happen. So, we're going to keep her out at sea where she's defenseless. I'm thinking we torch the paperwork to stop them docking the boat, find the way on board.
I never have
with the wings, and man, we can lift those wheels right off of her, huh? Let's do it!
You have that snake thing?
Oh, I have a recurring snake thing.
I don't have one.
And your wife does as well.
She does, yeah.
You got it. You caught it. It is like a virus.
I'm so afraid of snakes in real life that they need not make their way into my dreams. And on GMM, I conquered my fear by self-talking, which I did not access that ability in the dream when I was swimming in the tributary to like the Amazon River, and nothing but like trunks.
Yeah, swimming in tributaries is a thing that happens in dreams.
And I was swimming in it, and there was like a jungle around me, and then I saw this snake swimming right towards me.
Sea snake.
It was like an anaconda, dude. It was huge. It was like a 20-foot snake with a head the size of a basket. And it swam up to me, swam kind of around me, and it gave me pink. And I kept swimming. And it was swimming around me, and then I finally got to like this.
Hello, Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help you?
And I saw you down there getting in a little kiddie boat.
I was in a sea camp.
It was like a kiddie ride with Locke and Lincoln. You were like ushering them onto a kiddie boat. And the three of you
An undersea kiddie boat ride?
No, it was just down over a cliff. You were down there.
The laws of physics have been suspended.
They were never to be suspended. So I'm already tapping into a few things. And I'm going to go on. Just lay bare my soul. Or at least my, talk about the big decision. I'm second guessing it. I don't know if I want to or say he doesn't talk.
What vehicle are you after? Thank you, sir. Your spectacular aircraft is now ready for you at our nearest airfield.
But everyone's going to talk. You want to
Right.
sure.
And because everybody, whenever you change something about your appearance, your unique or everybody's going to talk about it, so you go ahead and get ahead of it. It may be too late.
It's a little too late to be ahead of it, but you're kind of just getting the secret.
I've got a few gray hairs. And by a few, I mean a lot. I feel like I need to confess that I've been hiding my gray hairs.
And you've been hiding it.
I've been coloring the gray hairs.
What color?
They were gray.
What color you mean? Oh,
Purple. You haven't noticed? The color of the rest of my hair.
oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Or at least try to approximate it.
I didn't know that. It's a great job.
I don't know when I made the decision. I think it was when we were wrapping Buddy System. I think I've mentioned on a podcast that the people that you get closest to are the makeup people and the hair people, because you see them at the beginning of every day and at the end of every day, and you have a conversation occasionally, and they know your deepest fears if they're getting lines because you're beginning to study those.
Right.
And you're in a vulnerable position. But, so they're like, you got to do a better job of coloring your hair. Like, you just have a conversation about it. So I'm like, yeah,
Because you've been doing it first.
I do it
Like,
first.
you take out like a brush. What is it? Just polish? How's it work?
I've been using just for men because, as you know, I am just a man.
Nothing more.
And wait, you know, because you don't want to go down the aisle with all the women hair down. You want to go in the man aisle with your legs.
Is this just for men? I want to make sure this is just
Of course
for men.
not. It's so stupid. It's marketing.
Hold on, this would not work on females' hair, right? It's just for men. Just making sure.
I guarantee you the stuff on the woman hair color aisle, which by the way, instead of just having like a little swath of hair color, has an entire aisle of the stuff, is the same exact stuff and probably cheaper and more expensive. All types.
Because nobody can compete with Just for Men. When Just for Men came up with that, they got the corner of the man market.
Right.
You can't have like for everything. Just for Men won.
So that's where I went because men aren't comfortable going down the women color aisle.
Right. I go down the razor aisle. Just keep it. It's just for men. And I would.
Well, I mean, it's probably going back 5 years. Maybe more than that. I remember when I first started seeing some gray hairs. It's not because I'm old, even though I do blame it on my kids all the time. But it's your fault. It's hereditary, man. It's not because I'm getting old. It's because genes. My mom went gray early.
But let me just say though. So you're not going gray.
I just
early. You're 39 years old.
I'm a young guy.
Yeah, I know, but lots of people are, like 30s.
You can go, if you're going to go gray, this is what happens.
But I've got some spring starting too. It just doesn't show up as much here.
So what I would do was, at first I had some like in my cart, and I would just pluck them out. Because they would be wired. And then it is, because like right when you hear with the car, like all the way back here I would notice some sprigs would be coming.
They're a little cubish,
but totally white.
Yeah.
Like if your pubic region got struck by lightning. That's what it looked like on top of my head.
But there are benefits to it.
Roy. Oh yes.
Except for lightning. Except for lightning.
And then at a certain point, I'm like, whoa, right here where you would like hit a soccer ball, not total front, but just behind it, I saw a patch like over like my right frontal lobe, like a little white patch. I was like, you know what? Just get a little bit of that beard and mustache color because you just brush that on.
Yeah.
So and then I would like brush a little bit up and a little bit back here so I don't have to pull back. And then of course, that's
gross. Stress.
I remember one time I tried. I was like, screw this. I'm just gonna shampoo my whole head with the hair dye. And it was when I went home for Christmas one time. And I was out grilling. And because it says it only sticks to the white hair.
You look like dad.
Yeah. And I remember I was grilling with my dad, who I was living out here, so I don't see him as often. And I remember when I was grilling, all of a sudden I noticed he was looking at me instead of the grill. You dye your hair? He said that to me. I was like, yeah, I tried. Well, it's just a spot here and there, but I tried the whole thing and it didn't. It went black. I was like, I am not going to do that. So then over years, I would just, I noticed I was using more and more than just
But can I, let me interject, because
and you start to, go ahead.
I think that, not to speak for you, but to speak for you, because I'm also speaking for myself.
Yeah.
I think that the tendency to dye the hair, I think, was rooted in, we've always had this feeling that people perceived us to be younger than we actually are, because most people do. If you just stumble on one of our videos, you don't think, well, I don't know, I'm starting to look older faster. I think I'm working too hard, but rewind just a couple of years, you would think that guy's about to turn 40. I don't think. Right. And we felt like in order to succeed on YouTube, we couldn't be seen as like old guys. So it's just like, everybody does it. People dye their hair. So it's like, yeah, I don't want them to think I'm old. I don't want to become irrelevant. I literally thought out loud to myself.
George Clooney did it. George Clooney did what? Dyed his hair. Like, that was a rationale for me to film it. How long did he do it? He does it on and off, you know? I mean, for years before that movie in Hawaii, he would do it all the time. He was great on ER. He was salt and pepper on ER, right? But he wasn't doing it. I didn't know the parts. He was doing it. Well, no, he would do it in real life as like, this is my normal look. But he wasn't trying to not let anyone know. No, because he was on ER. I don't even know if I'm right, but I used that as rationalization. But I don't need evidence. Because the flip side of being on YouTube is that there's a level of expected authenticity that that's not required of just an actor. So I always felt a little bad about it. Or, I mean, subconscious about it. Like, I think you also look forward to the day. It's not like we didn't talk about it. You didn't think you were. It's not like I was keeping it from you. You didn't think. You dreaded the day that you'd have to let it go and make the switch, right? I knew that still in the public eye. All of a sudden, I become Anderson Cooper. I got some explaining to do. Right? My Uncle Dan had a big red beard and reddish hair, and he was a school principal for years. And then one day, he comes over to Nana and Papa's house, his in-laws, to eat dinner like we did every month. And he had gotten a promotion to be like superintendent of the public schools in the county. And all of a sudden, he was...
Hello? What can I do for you? Okay then? Wow. Weirdo.
Yeah, you've avoided that. You've avoided that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but me. So I think that's what went into making the decision now was, you know what? I think I just gotta... I feel like I'm covering something up. In motion. Or in some way. Besides, obviously, physically. I didn't even feel comfortable. And I was like, also feel free to just... I felt safe enough with, like, the mythical beast to be gray if I have gray hairs. Yes, but in my own brain, I gave myself permission because we were also sensitive about it. We would also avoid talking about how old we were. Right, you know, up to probably 5 years. Right now, it's just, you know, by the time this podcast comes out, I will be 30. And everyone knows that now. And you're not worried about it. And there is something freeing about that. And I decided with makeup people, buddy system would like brush the white hairs that I didn't dye with like something in between takes to like cover it up. Enough of this. This is for the birds. And like trying to color my own hair over the weekend, or you don't know how many fights me and Christy got in with her trying to color this part in the back. Yeah, in my opinion, she wasn't. But in her opinion, she didn't have to do it at all, so... Poor woman. So, do not even do it. She colored the landscape. Oh, gosh. So there were so many factors that just pushed me over the edge. But the main one is just to be me. You know, if I want to tell people to be themselves and be confident in who they are, why do you do that? You know?
Yeah, but I actually think that I think that ultimately you will only experience a positive benefit. You will only experience benefit from it. I honestly don't think there's any negative that can come from this. I think if anything, there'll be some parent who's watching Good Mythical Morning over their child's head, shoulder, and they'll see you and be like, so you must be about my age. Maybe I'll start watching.
Maybe this is for me. Or they'll look over their kid's shoulder and be like, why are you watching that old man? This is creepy. This is creepy for everybody. I think that I might lose some fans who psychologically think it's creepy to watch an old guy. But you'll gain some.
Every one you lose, you'll gain some.
I hope you gain so many more who are fans. Salt and pepper hair, It's just in here. It's not everywhere. It will all sides. I mean, and it eventually will be everywhere. Yeah, I guess I feel. Yeah, sure. No, I feel fine. I feel good about the decision. Ear Biscuits is supported by NatureBox, y'all. Everybody wants to eat better. I mean, maybe there's somebody out there who just wants to eat stuff that's bad for them. I don't know.
Take care,
who you are,
friend.
but most people that I know, including me and you, and us, want to eat stuff that is good for us, but we always feel like that means it's not going to be good taste. Can we get both? Can we have both? Can we have something that's good for us and tasty both? Especially in a snack form, because that's when you get away from your bread foods, bread on the rules, as you garden it. You don't have to worry about that, because you can get stuff that is good for you and tastes good. Tastes great with NatureBox. NatureBox has over 100 snacks that do just that. All the snacks are made with high quality single ingredients, which means no artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners. So you can feel good about what you're eating. And you know what? You can eat some dried mangoes, and then you can balance that out with some salt and vinegar veggie chips, because you want to have some sweet snacks. So you want to have a savory, salty option too. Crispy. Salt and vinegar chips. Never use that term. What you cover yourself in salt and vinegar? They will. It's amazing. Magic soup is made completely of salt and vinegar veggie chips. It is very simple. You just go to naturebox.com, you choose the snacks you want, and then NatureBox will deliver them right to your door. You'll do this now, and then later you'll just be surprised with snacks. Everybody loves surprises. I should point out, though, that NatureBox does not deliver the snacks in apparel form. You got to do that on your own once you get them. Well, they come in very sleek packaging. It's not super stuff. But I could take my blueberry nom-noms and turn them into a glass. That's up to you. You can do that, or you can just eat it. Now, NatureBox is offering Ear Biscuiteer 50% off your first order when you go to naturebox.com/. That's 50% off your first order, guys. I don't know if you paid attention in math, but that's half off. naturebox.com/ear. naturebox.com/ear. Support Ear Biscuits. We're going to talk about our experience with horror movies. And I do believe that, I think I saw horror movies before the one that we're going to talk about first. But we can just start with our common experience. Because I believe that was definitely your first horror movie. It's a big one to start with. Oh my goodness. Well, this is what do you know what grade it was? Third, sixth grade. Because I remember another monumental event that happened that we'll talk about another weekend. So sixth grade, that's how I marked that year. Sixth grade. We had a group sleepover at Nicholson's house. I never had a sleepover at Nicholson's house. And so it was, I guess it was his birthday. It's like, there's something this is going all night, man. I don't know whose idea it was to put on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. All I remember is, but I was here just talking about it, and I was just so excited. Because on did he go to like Coke's Party Beverage and like tanning salon and rent the VHS? He must have. His older brother, who worked at Hooters, probably did. Larry. That Hooter frying. He probably also. Well, you didn't fry the Hooters. You fried the Hooters. He also probably owned. Larry's the guy who got Texas Chainsaw. Larry was cool, but the parents knew that it was not a sneaking around. The parents knew that we were watching. And I was super excited because I'd already kind of been enjoying horror movies, and the idea of enjoying horror movies with a group of my friends was especially exciting to me. I think that horror movies, even though they're like rated R, are designed for sixth graders to watch because it can just scare the living crap out of you and change your entire life. Like I said, I never heard of it before. I never watched a horror movie before. And the moment he said we were going to watch it, I was like freaking out in my brain, but I wasn't going to tell anybody because that wasn't cool. I mean, I definitely thought about bailing on the whole sleepover entirely. I'm sure.
Well,
But I didn't
knew
do it.
you were already anxious about being at a sleepover.
Yeah, yeah.
For a reason that I didn't know at the time. I did not know that you were so anxious about it. I was like, surely Link is having just as good of a time as I am at this stranger's house, not the stranger's house, but at this friend that we don't know that wants us. I never spent any year. But I felt comfortable doing it. So he brought out Chainsaw Massacre. Also that night, we stuck somebody's hand in water after sleep. Who was that? Who was that? I don't know. I do remember you trying it, but since it didn't work, I don't remember. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to read the synopsis of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, made in 1974, released in 1974, actually shot in 73, outside of Austin, Texas. When Sally hears that her grandfather's grave may have been vandalized, she and her paraplegic brother Franklin set out with their friends to investigate. After a detour to their family's old farmhouse, they discover a group of crazed, murderous outcasts living next door. I believe it was an incestuous family of freaks, the way I would put it. As the group is attacked one by the chainsaw-wielding Leatherface, who wears a mask of human skin, the survivors must do everything they can to escape. This thing was made for $140,000. I mean, you can kind of tell when you watch it. Pretty clear that it was a low-budget film. Yeah, made over $30 million at the box office. Gracious, that's a great return on your investment. But I just remember watching it that night, and then, what do you remember about it? Like, does anything specifically stand out? Because there's one scene that really stands out for me. With the deep cut. I distinctly remember, to me it was like, yeah, it was like a refrigerated butcher room, but it was like the girl, like a meat cook, and he hangs her on the meat cook through her back, hanging there, man. It was so grotesque, and that family acted so weird. And the fact that it was shot in 1974, it just looked so disturbing, and it was so packaged done. Like, it all played into like being horrified. I mean, there was a guy who played the granddad, and he had like this. I watched this, so I only for this part watching it in the second step because I was verify the details. Verify the details. But remember, there was like a granddad at the dinner table, really old makeup, like a latex skin on, and they took the girl and they cut her finger, and then the granddad was sucking on her finger. It's just demented stuff. Now, see, you're saying that's demented and horrifying, as if I didn't even mention the guy with the human skin mask on the chainsaw. The synopsis. You're saying all this as if I cannot speak to you. I've been talking to you. As if it's a bad thing. You say, oh, it's so horrifying. That's what makes it such a great thing. Is there really nothing at all about the experience of just being just totally scared to your core, but knowing that you're not really? Is that you didn't know that I wasn't in danger. It's like something. There was no logic component to this. I mean, it was like in the dream with the snake swam up to me in the tributary. There was a snake, and I was swimming. I experienced that in the sixth grader. Wait, because you know what happened afterward? We went outside. Yeah, when the movie's over, then someone had the bright idea to be like, let's go outside. His backyard backed up to a huge field. And then we
everyone just started walking into the field. It was pitch black at night. It was like a cornfield. They're like, and we're walking into it. And then all of a sudden, once you walk into the field, you can't see your friends anymore. So I'm alone in a field in a place I've never been, and I can hear rustling. Presumably, former friends of mine walking in. I was waiting for Leatherface to jump out at any moment.
This is, you know,
It was
it's just interesting. Sometimes those life events that really spark this. We're very similar in a lot of ways, very different in a lot of ways. So when a group of kids,
It was probably your idea.
when a group of kids goes into a dark cornfield, the only thing I'm thinking, and you're thinking,
I'm thinking, am I going to die?
Right, and I'm like, you become the victim, and I become Leatherface.
Yeah.
You become the girl.
Sixth grade Leatherface. I mean, I love scaring people. You're like, dang it, I should have brought my chainsaw.
You know, we would go,
Yes.
across the river. Yeah, we would all be walking, and then sometimes we would be walking through the woods, and
All of a sudden, I turn around. Like, where's that?
And I would literally devote like an hour of my time. I would let you guys and then I would walk through the woods and I would get like 20 yards from the and I would get up next to the campsite and I could hear you guys. And you're like, he's going to come scare us. He's going to scare us at any moment. But I was like,
You wait,
I waited past that moment. And I would wait for you to get right to that moment.
Well, I remember this one time, because the campsite was on the other side of the river, and then again, another tributary came off of the river and formed our campsite on an island.
Yeah.
And I remember we set up camp, and then you went to take a leak and never came back. It was pitch dark outside of the campfire. And then after a while, I go to take a leak, and I go next to the tributary, and I swear, for the past 30 minutes, you had been submerged in the water.
I was in the river.
You were in
the river and just kept my eyes above the water waiting for something.
like Predator, right? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator. But you know what?
I did pee on it. My dad did it. I remember really vividly coming back over, walking up and my mom had called me and said, "We need to talk." And so my dad knew that I was walking
The same cornfield.
yeah, same cornfield. But yeah, that was all done. I'm like walking, I come out of the cornfield, walking back on the grass, in my house, and I get right up to the road, and all of a sudden the bush starts shaking, and then all of a sudden there's a dog that, and then I realized it's my cat, and I'm like, I'm on the ground.
You lay on the ground.
I'm so scared, and then he just died.
And you got a thrill out of that? Or you wanted to be your dad
One day, I'm scared. I'm gonna have to power. I have a very similar personality. It's like I wasn't scarred by it. It was just like yeah, you know. I carried on.
But it's not that you've experienced joy in being scared.
No, but I do. That's what I'm going with. Because you like riding a roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
And to me, the joy of riding a roller coaster as long as I'm not sick was the feeling of being in that. Of course, that's the part now, of course, there is, I like the fun part. Yeah, but what makes it fun? The thrill. And what makes it a thrill?
The physical sensation. I mean,
I can just pick you up and throw you around, and that would be fun.
well, it might be. I don't think you would. I don't think you could do the same thing. To me, so you're saying if the adrenaline associated with a simulated near-death experience on a roller coaster, where I can suspend my fear of actual death, the scarier it is,
the more the sensation, right? So, okay, so when we went to Six Flags with the team, and we got on that, what was the one where we were flying? What was that called? What's that thing called? The one at Six Flags that's like sponsored by by the chips. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, there's one where you basically are strapped in and you're flying. And the whole time I was strapped in, I was thinking, this thing. Yeah, we talked about this, right? So, but that's what made it great. Is that I actually thought it could actually be in danger. But then when you get through it and you're done, you're like, that was the best one. That's the one I remember. That was the best experience I had at Six Flags. Was the time I thought I was going to die. So, a horror movie is
your mom also trained you to like that experience in the form of horror movies too, because she force feed you horror movies as a baby.
I don't think that my mom really understood. Like, my mom thought that her presence would be made, whatever she was watching. Okay, it was like parental guidance. As long as I guide you through this, it'll be okay. Well, ours stands for strict. Now, but she has denied this, restricted without mom. Because I talked about how she did a podcast watching Hellraiser, how she had to watch Hellraiser. Or she let me watch Hellraiser with her when I was very young. And she's denying this, and she says, I wouldn't. And I was like, well, how do I remember it? And how do I remember sitting there next to you watching it? So, but she loves horror movies. My mom will go see horror movies by herself. Like, she called me last year, and she was like, I just went to see Insidious 4, or whatever she was, by myself. And I was the only one in the theater. What? And she loved it. She loves every minute of it. So there's something in our blood that makes us want to experience these things.
Really?
But and I've made kind of a
Feels wrong.
the funny thing is I don't have a lot of people in my life to enjoy horror movies with. Jesse doesn't like to watch them. You don't really like to watch them. We will talk in a second about some of the ones that we have enjoyed together or we both have enjoyed recently. But one of my favorite horror movie stories is I learned that my father-in-law.
This movie, you made me watch it with you in the theater, and then you watched it again with him.
Oh, The Ring?
Yes.
Okay.
I saw The Ring in the theater in Greensboro.
Greensboro.
Yeah.
Okay.
After Christmas, because you were like, man, we got some time. We're on the road. Let's stop at a theater and watch The Ring. And I'm like, no. We'll watch something else. And we get there, and there's nothing else we can do. An hour and a half time frame, so then you forced me to watch The Ring. And how do you? Don't pull on your mom on me. I remember it because it scared the daylight out of me.
How do you remember that?
Not how, in my brain.
In my brain. Tell me about your experience. How do you recall that?
What was it like to watch the movie?
Oh, that's what that's. Now, how do you go about movies? Like, tell me about your experience. What do you mean, man?
No, I was just making
my brain.
It scared me. It was very
You didn't enjoy any of it. It was all bad.
I could read the synopsis, and then I'll let you tell the story. But I think most people know the synopsis of The Ring, but feel free to read it.
It sounds like just another urban legend. A videotape filled with nightmarish images leads to a phone call foretelling the viewer's death in exactly 7 days.
Why couldn't it be in the video? Why you gotta get a phone call?
Newspaper reporter Rachel Keller, played by Naomi Watts, is skeptical of the story until 4 teenagers all died mysteriously exactly 1 week after watching just such a tape. Allowing her investigative curiosity to get the better of her, Rachel tracks down the video and watches it. Now she has just 7
Okay,
days.
so we need to keep my uncle's ship all alone on the water where we can get to her and the port authorities can't sniff us out. But if we want to stop her from being cleared to dock, we need to destroy...
I really enjoyed it. I like watching. I do not watch horror movies by myself. I've almost done it a couple of times, but I'm not like I don't propose to them because the thing I enjoy is being with someone who's also getting scared. That's why my birthday party usually consists of watching horror movies together. Because I like to see, especially people who horror movies get scared. But I found that my father-in-law So, that was years ago. Just got married. It came out in 2002. It's probably 2002. So, like, right when it came out. And, he's like, listen, and he comes back with it, and let's just get together. We're in the living room together, and Jesse and her mom on the inside of the house, on the scene portion, and it's basically outside of the house.
And you should explain what happens in the movie.
Yeah, so, well, of course, in the movie, well, yeah, the way that she kills you, you're watching the tape, and then she comes out of the television and kills you. Yeah, and so, and the first scene is probably the scariest one. The first murder in the movie, in the original Ring, is incredibly scary. So, sitting there watching, you got all the lights on, and you got the volume cranked up real high. And there's this moment. I know it's about happening to the movie. I know she's about to come out of it. And as soon as that black hair, greasy black hair, is like right there at the screen, at the peak of the music and the build-up and everything, all of a sudden, the TV, the speaker, everything, the whole entertainment center just goes.
Don't forget to grab the Coast Guard's uniform before you pull the trigger. Gotta get suited and booted.
Ran. Bo, where did you run? You ran to the sunport.
You ran to your mom.
We ran to our ladies. We just ran in there. It was like we had like run all the way across the house, and then we ran in there, and they're like, "What in the world?" With your father-in-law, why are you guys running in here? We're like, the horror movie just did something in the real life. Oh my goodness! But then you looked over, and your dad was holding the phone, laughing at my father, barking like a dog. I think that's crazy. I think actually what happened, the timing of it, my scientific, my completely rational explanation of this is that we had it turned up so loud, and the bass was the music was peaking at that point that something happened that it overpowered the system. Or maybe the ring was real. We ran out of the ring to the sunport.
Wasn't there a viral video of people? There were like a bunch of televisions in like a Best Buy or something, and a ring girl crawled out of a television.
Yeah, that was for like the most recent ring, campaign. If you've got a horror movie these days, you've got to have some viral campaign like that, where somebody gets, thrown up against the wall by some witch in a coffee shop, that kind of thing. You got to have that. It's a
remake of a Japanese horror.
But so what I have done for a number of my birthdays is I've invited, especially since I here, I've invited a lot of people over to watch horror movies. So
and just to bring you up to speed on my horror movie watching life, you took me to see The Ring. Well, after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I did not watch another horror movie. I didn't even watch Gremlins.
Don't believe that.
I would watch. I would not watch anything that could remotely be scary after that movie. Probably until you see The Ring as a married adult man with a few gray hairs.
Just a few. But then, so this is probably 3 years ago. He doesn't know. Downstairs, I'm going to have a birthday party. I'm going to invite all my friends over and watch the shoot.
And it's great because your birthday is in October, so it's like everybody's in the Halloween.
Right. And nobody with a contact. Everybody was kind of in the same place. They were like not really fans of horror movies. But one person in particular hated horror movies more than you. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. And he said, I don't want to be here, but I know this is we're friends, it's your birthday, not to name drop, but for context, you're talking about Tony Hale. Yeah. So now it's funnier because you're going to imagine that like Buster from Arrested Development, or even more famous than that, Gary. But just imagine. He was like, I'm only here because we're friends and I want to support you as a friend. But and then he proceeded to put on headphones while we watched the movie. He put in earbuds and listened to music while we watched the movie. Like, I think the way you put it was like really nice music. Yeah. Like friendly music. And he also left a couple of times. Yeah. So he would watch the movie, but he wanted to be supportive. So he listened to a nice music and he looked at us. And I gotta say that very kind of.
Alright, here's the deal. I got the pilot who can get our container off the ship. The thing is, he needs a skylift.
Because that's the thing that's so exhilarating for you to be entertained at his expense. Well, I like everybody to be in this. I love to watch it in a group because everybody's grabbing onto each other. And it's just like you're just experiencing this as a team. It's like it's as close as you could get to being like one of those pods that's gonna roll around during the apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? Like if we can get through this together, right? We'll be safe. Safety is another thing. We can believe if we get through this movie. And the Kubrick was a specialist. Shall I read the synopsis? Read the synopsis, like in 1970, investigators of demonologist Lorraine and Warren are summoned to the home of Carolyn. The parents and their 5 daughters have recently moved into a secluded farmhouse where a supernatural presence has been stalking. Though the manifestations are relatively benign at first, events soon escalate in horrifying fashion, especially after the Barnes discover the fact. And now these movies are not very great for horror movies because you can't give anything away. Right. Yeah. But you keep reading.
Hello, this is Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help?
Demon-related horror movie. There's always been this thing in the back of my mind. I'm like, it's different than just a very crazy, grotesque monster that feels
Call again.
like
Goodbye.
very removed from the human experience. But then, when all of a sudden there was like a demon in the house, you're like, it could be in your house right now. I don't know what
You're through to your garage. You need me to bring you a ride?
And if it is true and you don't believe it, you're not believing it, it doesn't matter. And, yeah, right. And then be there. The moment when you get home, it can be there. You're thinking, you know that the swamp thing's not going to be in your house. Yeah, because your house is not in the swamp. But maybe your house is swamp. Maybe there's a demon in it. Or your dog or something like that. Well, I prefer to think that he's...
It's on the way.
That's why I always ran back in the house after throwing the trash away. And then the following year, I got everyone to watch the Babadook. I'm giving up on the synopsis. Yeah. That one was... No, this is the one where the kid was spooked out about this Babadook haunting him, and the mom starts talking to him. Read the synopsis. Amelia, who lost her husband in a car crash when they gave birth to Samuel, who was first of all, is their only child. Oh, you like come from a horror movie situation as an only child. You know, like you could have been like the little boy in a horror movie. That's what you think. Struggles to cope with her fate as a single mom. So links constant fear of monsters and violent reactions to overcome this doesn't help Sue's falls, which makes her friends become distant and things cannot get any worse. They read a strange book in their house about the Babadook monster that hides in the dark areas of their house. Hey, honey, you're trouble? I've got an idea. Let me read you a story about the Babadook. What kind of mom? Even Sue seems to feel the effects of Babadook and desperately tries to send it to but she would talk to it in order to try to get it to go away, right? And I think at first, that's great. First of all, the scariest in a horror is little girl that somehow been corrupted by people. Because you got the most innocent thing possible that an island or a multi-class road movies are very much exorcism stuff. One road to the so strong. And so, but Bobby was really good, but this didn't have much, and it wasn't pure of an experience. So, but it's interesting because this was at your house. Some people were in the other room talking today, it's hard to isolate. But this concept of watching the world it's interesting to show, and last time I said that box did it, but like I remember Lincoln would watch like maybe some of his like them, but not even them. We would watch like open concepts and stuff upstairs, yeah, but now watch them. Yeah, it's like a static right? That's the baby guy. I think you need to get it to be on the school. You know, kids are watching they're going to do something. You don't think that the idea of just I think a lot of watching people are really scared. You know, it's big at least in watching because you're not. So before I tell you this, I want to talk about the two horror movies. Probably my two favorite movies. But the other night, we were at your house. Watching that cat. Making that. So go back to while they're watching the movie. She goes into this bunch of the dolls. She sits in the hall. Yeah. So the first thing they're going to see in the movie is dolls in that area. Right now, all of them. Like American doll dolls, like the big ones that they really open against American dolls. Yeah. So you just got them out of the garage. Oh, so places like this. So what they did, they opened the door of the doll. Like they yeah, they're like they all they had reached out and react and attack the doll. Yeah, which I like. That's what I wish. It's like you hide people with the wall. I think part of it is I think humans are you know, we're basically in our DNA to be scared and to escape things. To escape the nightmare. When in doubt, over and over again. You know, so we've still got this Stone Age hardware, right? And we've got the modern day software, but our hardware is designed so that we will experience some of the stress based on right? That would reinforce the computer. But we don't live, and it's one of the reasons we have all these health problems, because we live with this very constant low-grade stress that causes cortisol. So very unhealthy to have to like as opposed to like a big part of it and then it's over.
So you think that your mom taught you from an early age to flush the system?
I don't know if it's because I'm also living in the stressed out modern day world with this unhealthy level of like low grade stress. I'm just saying that I think one of the reasons that you feel good after you watch something that's really scary and then it's over is like
Morse Mutual. How can I be of service? Sure.
So like if I run from a bear and get away from a bear, it's pretty exhilarating. But if we run from a bear and get away, we're like, you know, we reinforce something between the two of us.
Or if we run from a bear, but I run faster from the bear,
right,
then the bear gets you and I get away.
Yeah, that's incredible. But that's what makes horror movies so amazing, because nobody actually is killed by the movie, right? You get out. And so, Get Out. Let's talk about Get Out. My favorite movie. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Cabin if you would, but we're not going to talk about this. Okay. Because that was another horror movie that we loved because it wasn't, yeah, no one's doing spoilers. You've seen it. You should see it. If you're going to
If you love horror movies, you should see it. And if you don't love horror movies like me, you should see it.
Right. It's a perfect horror movie. But Get Out. We did not see it together. We saw it separately, right? We saw it, right? Yeah. But we saw it like the same weekend. And
it's so rare that people rave about a movie and then you haven't watched it.
It's too close to it. Can't live up to that.
I didn't know any of the details.
But I encourage you, if you avoided horror movies, definitely Cabin in the Woods. Definitely. Probably Get Out before Cabin in the Woods. Yeah. Because Get Out is actually not as, I think it's as scary as Cabin in the Woods. And also, Cabin in the Woods is like a trophy movie. It's like making fun. It's a parody horror movie. Yeah. But
this is more of a thriller. Like, I mean, I didn't watch those either, like Anne that Rocks the Cradle, any of that stuff. But it's a little different than a horror movie, like a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
So, and that's what Get Out is.
And it also has this incredible social message, which is like, you know, and the thing that is so amazing about it, you got a guy, George Gill, who, you know, is one half of the comedy world. We can relate to that. Who all of a sudden busts out this perfect movie for $1 million. That's crazy. That's a feat in and of itself. And also, I said that he's got like a handful more of these type of movies.
I love that he did that.
That addressed something important in a really creative way.
Yeah, I would say he is a creative hero.
You're through to your garage. You need me to bring you a ride?
I really have this on my favorite part.
I'll get there as soon as I can.
One more, but I can't remember what it is. Keeping a running list of Moby. Creative photos of mine.
Saw Moby in the back of Moby.
Saw a mouse at the kitchen Moby. So, but then I presume that you're moving on to it. Because what you were talking about with the kids was they've been badgering us to see it. And I'm like, now, I remember when I was 10 years old, it came out on television as a mini-series
of a network television.
And, yeah, and everybody at school was talking about it, so I did watch a lot of that. Clown and scared the crap out of me. And I don't recall watching it all. I watched portions of it.
Nice!
Just to see
I watched that with my brother. I remember watching that miniseries. But this is, first of all, guys, come on, let's be real. The It from this year is so much better than the original. Let's just be honest. Is that a question? There are people who, no matter how things are done, they always say it's not as good as the original. It's not as good as the clown as the first guy. Not as scary. It's not as creepy. you're wrong, okay? I know that this seems like a subjective thing, but you are objectively wrong if you think the original It is better than the current. On every level, you are wrong. You have an incorrect perception of the world and those two movies, okay? So now that that's out of the way, this It, and now they're like, I'm glad you pointed that out. I'm totally swayed by your potent argument. Was very gracious too. So won the hearts and minds of every. Hey, I'm not about winning hearts and minds. I'm just about setting facts. Now that I've settled it, so it is so good. Now there's a lot of people. Now, what let me say, it is so good.
Okay,
And I loved
this
it
is
too,
it.
except for that
Everything's in
clown.
place. You ready to go full pirate mode? Because if anything's worth boarding a ship crawling with heavily
I'm
armed
not
private
proud
security,
of the fact
it's
that I
this
took
car.
my kids to see it. Not Lambo, of course, but I mean, Lincoln. Once you see all the other ones, like Lincoln has, and he's not coming up to my bedroom and I'm scared. I get some cool points out of it. So yeah, I'm not proud nor not proud that I took this. Yeah, and you can lock. You can lock it. Well, so Locke was playing basketball at Hawaii, and I picked him up.
This car's gonna be lit, bro. I mean, my uncle might be a seriously bad guy, but his taste in cars? Yo, this is it.
Which is, as a dad, I just love being able to do something like that. You were grabbing each other. You were running things there and keeping away together. We bonded. It's absolutely right. You thought back to see it again. That's interesting because I reserved seats for me, Lily, and Lincoln, and then a friend of theirs and their friend's mom. But the seats couldn't all be together, so me and the friend's mom sat together. Okay? Yeah. And so yeah, there wasn't as much like grabbing each other and camaraderie like kids spend time with that time. Well, I was actually kind of disappointed because not in the movie, but in the people watching it, because the movie was so good, it was scary. Now, first of all, there are people who don't think the clown is scary, and I think that's fine. You're not scared of something, you can't help it. People just think it was like, I don't know. If you don't find the clown scary, then the whole I find it incredible. I kind of give myself over to movies I'm watching. But also, after the first scene, I think they did a bang up job of establishing how afraid this clown is right off the bat. And also, that is surprising. First of all, this is incredible action. And it's just crap. So, but we like cinematic, like even in that shot, like with that overhead shot, there's raining, and aftermath of what happened, it's like the water raining away, all the visuals, but the kid, I'll put it down. I've never seen, what's the kid's name? Kid from Stranger Things, I think is what it's properly called. Yeah, Ben. Okay, so he's great. One of the things about that kid is that, in a way, that hasn't happened since the 80s, that you kind of saw kids kind of grow up and star in movies that adults like. Yeah, so very nostalgic. The 90s kind of ushered in this time, and it was most of the 2000s, I think, where kids are movies that most of the kids people, star kids. Adults would tolerate movies. Back in the 80s, you had like kids that were in family movies that became stars and kind of grew up in.
Hello, you're through to Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help? Great. The aircraft is waiting for you at our nearest airfield. We trust you'll be happy, sir.
It's incredible things. It's incredible and kids. Yeah, all the kids are. That's the cool thing is that it's a book from the set. It was written then, right? I mean, it certainly came out of but it didn't. I think he wrote it. And obviously, this is a Stranger Things phenomenon that's happening. I'm not saying you have heard here, but obviously, Stranger Things was inspired by it. It gave it permission to then be inspired by Stranger Things. But they didn't have to make the choice to set it back in
necessarily never gets understood. So, but the style of it. But then adding on top of it, the nostalgia factor that you're talking about, kid stars in movies for adults, was like that last piece that brought it all together. Then the 80s, it shot like that, like a movie for me, but done in like the highest production value of now, but also the phenomenon was very exceptional. Yeah, and then just visually, there's so many memorable and horrifying scenes, and it keeps coming at you. It's like it's unrelenting. And how many times it just keeps coming back. I'm tempted to say that I like horror movies. I mean, I'm gushing about this movie. Maybe I finally switched over.
You like good horror, which I agree is not a lot. You know, most of them are bad, but this year's been.
But it had all the it had humor. It had a lot of horror. The best horror movies have a fun as well.
I mean, Get Out was hilarious.
Yeah.
And even some of the best ones from back in the day, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. Like,
what, they were funny? Because, of course, I never saw them.
Freddy Krueger was funny. He was legit funny.
Like, he had, like, one-liners?
He has one-liners, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's funny. You can watch those now and you won't be surprised. Really funny.
But talking about I'll laugh.
The remake, I have another problem. It versus It. The same people make the argument that, you know, if the NBA players from the 80s played the NBA players from today, they would totally beat it was so much more of a pure game, and it was tougher to you are objectively wrong. If the NBA championship team, if the Golden State Warriors were to play 1993 or 95 Chicago Bulls, they would decimate. For experience. You gotta understand how much the game has changed in 20, 30 years. It's changed so much. Like, they move faster. You definitively prove this. Somebody needs to just scientifically break it down so the argument will be over forever. I'm just telling you, I know that they were great. They prove it in the Olympics. But the game has exactly. So there's a definitive measure of athleticism. And what happens with world records? They get broken. Every year there's these numbers. There's definitive things like sprinting, jumping, and weightlifting. Typically, there are records that set. Why is basketball any different? The game is evolving. My kid is playing basketball right now, and they are better than Jordan. They are so much better than I was at that age. I realize we're in Southern California, but North Carolina is a pretty good basketball state. But like the skill level of all these kids, like the mean skill level, is so much higher than what we have. There's just no contest, and all the filmmaking, executive filmmaking, we've gotten so much better. The technology has gotten so much better. And the sound, and all of these things have gotten so much better. Not to mention, it's not an argument because the original It was a network television miniseries that had so many lines that they couldn't cross, so many things that they couldn't show and couldn't say, and then you don't have those restrictions with the modern day version. There's just no context. Why are we even talking about this? I think the exception is there will never be another Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Except for the fact that they've made like countless sequels. Am I wrong in thinking that Matthew McConaughey was in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel? I think you're wrong about George Clooney dyeing his hair ever, and I think you're wrong about that. Hey, George Clooney dyes his hair for roles, yeah, but then for roles only. But like on the front of a magazine. No. Okay, I want you to say that on mic, Brett. Matthew McConaughey was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre the next what? No, that was Star Trek. After the Next Generation, you assaulted 1994. 1994. Matthew McConaughey. You are wrong about George Clooney, though. Will somebody look that up? Okay. Yes, he did. For just in normal life. Just like when it's a kid over there and Okay, see, George Clooney reveals like never did I say.
Yeah, again. I'll call George myself. Fine.
Okay, you're 1 for 2, man. Hey, but listen, I'm thinking this.
But here's the
Okay,
thing.
well,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre could not be shown scarier than the 1974 version because it was the low budget, like horrible acting. Like
you're right. Yeah, I completely agree.
It was like a Blair Witch experience, but it was real. Now, you know what I'm saying? I know that it's not clear, but
I also watched the Blair Witch.
I've not seen the Blair Witch.
I watched the Project Locke is on the score thing, so we watched the Blair Witch together, and I actually
the sentiment is that it was all shot on home video.
Well, yeah, it's actually a
Oh. I'm not saying that Texas Chainsaw Massacre was that by any means, but I'm saying that it has that feel because it was done by like borderline amateur filmmakers, like just trying to make it happen with no money outside of Texas, really killing each other trying to make this thing. And I think it translates into the way that this Dimension family, the actors chose to act. I watched the closing scene right before we came in here, and it just gave me chills because just the production. Now,
it's probably a scary film set to be on.
Yeah,
because it was so, they had to get so raw. Like the lines between reality and fiction are probably
at the very
blurry.
At the very end, this big rig drives up. The bloody girl has made it to the highway being chased by Leatherface and his brother. And the rig kicks his brother, runs over to him. And then the rig pulls over and the guy gets out. And then it's a rig that's full of chickens.
Chicken.
And you know that was not a production choice. It's like, what's the scariest rig we can get? The correct answer is a chicken rig. But they didn't do that.
What's the only rig
they probably flagged down the first rig that came down the road once they set up the shot. It was that dude in a chicken rig, and they talked him into being in the movie. I don't know the story, but that's what you could just take that chicken.
Speaking of rigs, have you seen that movie where the guy is chased by the rig? That's a horror. He's being chased by the rig the entire time. It's the guy just take an exit, dude. Sometimes you'll see that movie on a TV movie on, and it's but he's in his big rig. He's being sliced by the train. There's also a horror movie about a baboon called Baboon. You heard about this one? We gotta make a horror movie. We gotta do it. I think that is the conclusion.
Just because Jordan Peele made a blockbuster horror movie, I feel like now I can't even entertain the possibility.
But I think the two of us working together, you've got the guy who loves to scare people and the guy who loves to be scared. So we work in tandem to dial it in perfect. We make sure it's got all the elements that a great horror movie should have. But it's super funny. It's also a musical because that hasn't happened, right? Come on, let's do this. Okay, let's make a horror movie, a horror musical before we die.
Horror music.
You want to shake on it? You want to shake on it? Macabre.
And Matthew McConaughey stars.
Oh crap! We're gonna do everything we can to get Matthew McConaughey in this thing.
All right, guys. I bet you can get John Mayer in it. He's in Zombie.
Yeah, he was. Not one I necessarily.
All right, guys. Thank you for hanging with us. We weren't too afraid. You were listening to this whole thing. Yeah, windows with a curry chainsaw, meat dangling nearby. Here's for you.
You just think about that. Anything is possible. Someone there's nothing else. While you were listening to this, and that little creak that you heard downstairs. That could be a person, or it could be some sort of supernatural being that is ready to perplex yourself. And that's what some of them were. Some of them were.
Yes! 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 Okay, peace out, man. Enjoy the ride. Man, the shit you get up to working for this family. Y'all are crazy.
Welcome to Destiny Game Show. Google and I'm going to questions on what to do this will be a joint contribution. Hello. Welcome, Alex. Great to have you on board. A regular and once the set on working the fine line between cheating and slutting and a critically acclaimed debut show. Not My Finest Hour is touring the UK as we speak. We'll talk more about that later on. In addition to comedy, Alex also runs the cult hit indie rock and roll and Britpop club night, Indie Amnesty. Alex, welcome to the show.
Hello, that's a nice introduction. It makes me sound like I do stuff.
Well, you do a lot of things, and it's brilliant if you want. Are you good at quizzing? What is your view of quizzes?
I love a quiz. Absolutely love it. But my competitiveness is sometimes...
The interesting thing about Destiny is that it kind of shows people's true colours.
Yeah.
In terms of your family, did you sit around and play quizzes or games as a family back in the day or in the present day?
Quite a lot. Yeah, no, we always do a quiz, or me and my dad quite often like to channel our arguing into, who was right, just more than that sort of saves us from arguing about politics. Do you know what I mean? It's just sort of a bit more shallow.
Anyway, I'm trying to avoid politics with my parents as well, that's for sure. And so, in terms of when you were a kid, do you remember like the first kind of quiz that you watched on TV or anything that captured your imagination? Your school days era?
Probably Fortunes I used to absolutely love. Yes. Arguably that's not really a quiz, but to that means it's so cool.
What a lot of people said was Destiny is.
I was going to say, it's not...
There's a replay of something, and that is there's no similarities at all.
No.
And Alex, do you think you are typical Brit? Saturday night is a good yardstick to work out whether English not a common person in this country. What is your usual Saturday evening?
My Saturday evening, if I'm not gigging, my Saturday evening goes to... Oh my god, this is amazing.
I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels?
I'm gonna have a smoothie and make myself some nice healthy food, and then it's about 1 p.m. Saturday I start texting everyone I know.
It's on the way.
So, as a stand-up comedian, would you go and watch other people's comedy, or is that really difficult for other comedians to watch? Is that the pressure?
Oh, it definitely puts pressure on me. Do you know what? I don't watch a lot of comedy, and I still think it's nice that I enjoy comedy. I think some comedians, they hate watching comedy. I go and watch it all the time, but if a comedian comes to watch me, I'm like, what's it? Like,
steal my jokes.
Yeah,
Do people steal jokes? Is that a thing?
I don't think so. Like, people have had similar jokes, and a lot of the time I think it's very long-thinking.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very risky joke.
There's nothing to do though with this.
There is, it's the age of social media. Now that when people report themselves, if you can prove that someone's that gig and you love that joke, sometimes I even think it's subconscious even then. Like they've not, you have to probably can do it, but there was quite a case of comedians killing a comedian's joke recently, and it went everywhere. It's quite fringe.
Google that right now. It's about beyond one reason only. Let's start the quizzing after a recap how it all works. Start now. Alex,
so this week's guesstimating quiz is called Sleeping, Strawberry Fields and Saving Lives. So, Alex making notes straight away, there we go. Come to that in a second. So as ever, there'll be 3 rounds of questions. I'll take your answers. You've got your pen and notepad. There's Bush versus Alex. No holds barred.
Okay.
Alright, let's go. So round 1, we're going to be assessing our beloved emergency services. So the guesstimation were asked to rank the 5UK emergency services from most